I am privileged to be with you in the capacity of the guest of honor to open this conference. It's a conference of diamond people. All heads of diamond which I'm looking at.
We see the conference as an opportunity for all our diamond experts across the world to come to Zimbabwe to share their views, their knowledge, their experiences. So it's absolutely important for us, particularly as we structure the early days of our diamond industry. It needs to have a solid basis, and a solid basis can only be found where you are eliminating the mistakes that others made.
Well, we are both producers, and Zimbabwe has just come out of isolation, economically speaking, and we are here to make a statement to welcome them into the family of legal producers of diamonds, and to support their initiatives, and also to look into areas of cooperation, which areas we can intervene in as South Africa. For instance, bring in equipment and related needs. Yes.
Africa produces 65% of the world's diamonds. Of that, South Africa is a very big producer, one of the biggest, next to Botswana, and Zimbabwe is growing up into that. And I think what we want to do is create a diamond hub for the Southern African region so that this can grow and we can get the benefit of the diamonds in Southern Africa.
I believe that Zimbabwe has been an important part of the world diamond industry. And as such, they should be organized and become a fuller member of the industry.
I think that Zimbabwe is one of the most important players in the diamond pipeline, and being as such, it is in the stage of the very early development, opening itself to the world. So I think it's extremely important to be here and to provide whatever we can do for Zimbabwe to put it out in the world, and that's what we're here for.
It's very important to what Dubai Multi-Commodity Center and the Dubai Diamond Exchange is doing in bringing in the trade from all of the commodity regions, and Africa takes about 65% of the world diamond production from mines. And not just because of their production and their trade impact, but also we have strong ties in the historically and currently. You see as part of the policy of the UAE to expand in Africa, and Zimbabwe is no exception.
Zimbabwe is very important to all of us, to the diamond and jewelry industry. Not because only Zimbabwe, but because it's part of a group of countries, producing country, diamonds, gold, silver, platinum, and many others important elements that belong to the jewelry industry, that we are capable through our designer, through our education, through our main activities to transform in a piece of jewelry.
For Antwerp, it is very important to be in Zimbabwe because Zimbabwe is the 6th biggest producer in the world, and we, for the tender and for the conference, have flew in a few Antwerp companies to actually both bid on the tender that's being organized here, and of course also to be able to participate at the conference. We believe that Zimbabwe is also going to be of increased importance in the future, and this is of course shown by the presence already now of the Minister of Mines of South Africa and of all the other international participants who especially flew in to show respect to the people of Zimbabwe and to the Zimbabwe government.
This was an amazing conference with an enormous attendance of about 1,000 people. It was also a very lively conference with 3 panel discussions in which everybody participated. There was a panel on beneficiation, there was a panel actually on trade sanctions which have affected in the past and are still actually affecting Zimbabwe to a large extent. And there was a panel on new OECD guidelines on minerals. I think this conference was extremely important for this country because it allowed all the participants to see what an activity there is and what the potential there is for the future and how minerals can really contribute to the livelihood of all the people of the country.
I think it's a roaring success. We've got very, very eminent speakers. The subjects that they covered was very important, and I think the people that come to these conferences get an understanding of what's happening in the diamond world.
I've visited here already a couple of times. I've been in touch with the people here. I think that they need to get more expertise. They can get it from the industry. The industry is very willing to do so. And as they are prepared and ready, we will be there to provide it. And hopefully, as I said, in a couple of years, they probably will establish a diamond exchange here.
I see a future where we'll be able to sell much better diamonds, much more diamonds, play a much greater role on the international market. But besides that, I see a future where we will be able to encourage not just Zimbabweans, but members of the international business community to come to Zimbabwe to start cutting and polishing diamonds, to start making jewelry out of our diamonds, to start making even industrial equipment out of our diamonds, cutting facilities out of our diamonds. I see a situation like that, so that they too can work with us to create a win-win situation.